Hello, this is Darren DePaul, the voice of Emperor Valkorion, and you're watching another video by Vulkk.
Greetings, I'm Vulkk. This is the Weekly Roundup show released every Sunday, at least according to the current schedule. And I don't want to waste any more time because, boy, do I want to throw 1,000 news and videos upon you guys. Obviously, this week was marked by the release of the first for 2017 story content for Star Wars The Old Republic. This is my major thread or post that I collect everything here. As you can see, it's been started way before the release of the expansion of the update. The update on its own was planned originally for the 11th of April, but then delayed with a week for just after celebration for 18th, so next Tuesday. And here I can show you the contents. We've got the before launch and after launch. In the after launch section, I've got videos for both Republic and Empire storyline. I've got video with my thoughts because I really wanted to share with you guys what I thought about the story of the new patch, the War for Iokat. And I wanted to ask for your own opinion. If you haven't seen that video yet, you have to go check it out and share what do you think about the new patch. Was it worth the wait? Was it worth the excitement? Did you enjoy it? How much of it did you play? How many bugs did you encounter? Yep, there are bugs in 5.2 and that's undeniable. Even though the patch was delayed with a week, we still faced quite a bit of bugs, most of them strangely related to the dailies and the daily area overall on Iokat. The dailies are a little bit odd. Some of them are completely out of place, like for example pay more money to complete the quest than you earn after completing the quest and getting your reward. What the hell is up with that, BioWare? I know we understand money sinking, but that's just wrong. There is my short overview of the Iokat daily area. Of course, that doesn't include doing all the quests because the video is relatively long. I just wanted to show you all of the vendors there and all of the traders, and I wanted to show you what quests you can pick up, how you get to the daily area, what you do with the daily terminal, how changing factions and sides every day affects your decisions, and how important all of this is. Basically, I'll spill the big news. It's not really important. It only allows you to choose which faction reputation you're grinding for in this select day. And of course, I think I mentioned that in the video as well, but I'll mention it once again for you guys to be sure to hear and learn that once you start the quest, when you choose one of the sides, you're still free to choose whichever sides you want. But once you start the quest and start the progress of the quest, and especially when you complete the first quest, you'll be bound to that side for the remaining of the day until it's reset. So make sure to complete your quests or delete them if you're there, if they are currently in progress, if you want to change sides for the next day. I've got a bunch of videos, but I'll talk about them in the later part of the weekly roundup when I actually show you the screen with all the videos. There are two highlights, however, from the finishing moments of War for Iokat, or at least the first part, because we know this is kind of like chapter-based new story arc. Bauer doesn't want to call it chapters because they have bad memories from chapter-released, chapter-based story content. However, these are two highlights with Alara Dorn and Malavai Queen. In both of them, I've chosen interesting decision. I've made interesting decision, and I've chosen interesting lines in the dialogues to make them worth for myself and for you to watch them if you want. Then down below here, and actually, I believe here in a separate post as well, depending on where you prefer, and a playlist on YouTube, I've got all of the new cinematic intros for each one of the 8 standard Star Wars The Old Republic classes. Those are the original cinematics when you start from level 1 on the origin planet, depending on your faction and class, of course. No, BioWare didn't change them dramatically and drastically, so the story is still the same, the voiceover is still the same, the actors are still the same. What's different is the quality of animation, the duration of the cinematics to some extent, the lip syncing. No, the lip syncing was always decent in SWTOR, but the lighting and the camera position, most of all the camera position, it fits kind of the style of Fallen Empire and Eternal Throne, and I have to say it's much better. it would have been even more fantastic if BioWare finally decided to improve and change those ugly low quality textures on all of the characters and their outfits. But that's a completely different topic, and let's not go there. So, yes, I have all of the 8 cinematics. They're pretty much short, between 2 and 4, 5-ish minutes or so. I think the Bounty Hunter intro is the longest one of all, and they've added a lot of new scenes in there. And by scenes, I mean just mostly visual updates, because again, the dialogue is the same, or at least I think it's the same. If you watch these videos on YouTube, for most of them, on a pinned comment, I've added a link to an opening cinematic from the before 5.2 update, wherever I have them available. Of course, I don't have them for all of the classes and all of the storylines. Enjoy them. They're short, they're easy to watch, and of course, share with me what your memory is. Can you actually spot the differences right there, or do you need to go and rewatch the original cutscene, the original opening cinematic, and then attempt to compare them? Many people actually complain that they don't see any differences, and to some extent, this is understandable because, yep, the story, third time, the story is the same. I would like to bring your attention to the SWTOR Operation Loot Table for patch 5.2. This is now a standalone post in the SWTOR News category on my website. Usually, and for a very long time now, about a month or so, it's been buried on page 2 of my, how is it? SWTOR Endgame Gearing Guide for PvP and PvE. I've decided to extract it and put it in a more easily discoverable and more visually appealing, probably, format. So you don't have to dig through a guide, go to the second page of the guide. You have this very easily accessible. The content is just the same, so I've mirrored both of the articles. You've got the selection ordered by operations, and of course the same ordered by gear slots. Down below in the contents, you can see that I've listed all of the operations. For all of the operations, I've also listed links to my kill videos, my video guides, and my written guides wherever available. Of course, obviously, I don't have all of them available, especially not for all levels. But starting from level 55 all the way up to level 70 on some or most of the boss encounters, I have video and or written coverage. So hopefully that should be enough if you're just starting with operations in Star Wars The Old Republic. Don't worry, if you're just starting, they're just as fun as they were 5 years ago. Okay, that's a lie. No, some of the operations have been scaled and rescaled, and more or less they get boring after you've done them 50, 60, 100 times. But that doesn't really matter if you're new to operations. You should scratch what silly thing I just said and start enjoying your fun. Especially in story mode, they're completely worth your time and trouble, and they're really easy. I mean, really, really easy. Unless you seriously want to die, it's hard to wipe story mode operation in Star Wars The Old Republic. Don't be afraid. Go check them out. Jumping to another completely different topic, all Gwent cards voice lines in one place. Gwent the Witcher card game is still in closed beta, but just recently CD Projekt Red actually sent another huge chunk of invites, and to many, including me, they've sent unique links for 3 specific closed beta invites, and I still have one remaining that I haven't given to a friend because nobody has asked me for the third one yet. So if you want a free invite to the closed beta of Gwent, the Witcher card game, just let me know, and I'll give you the link. What this is a doc file, which I don't have here, but I have shared the link because the doc file is not mine. And this is basically this particular someone being Reddit user Lemur Kata, who created a very detailed and very nice collection on doc with absolutely all of the lines for all of the card units currently existing in Gwent. You know that each one of the units is voiced over with 3 to, I think, 5 different voice lines. Most of them are taken from the games. There are some of them that I personally don't recognize, but it probably means that I just don't remember where they are from. Or maybe I haven't seen that specific quest because I definitely haven't done all the quests in Witcher 1 and Witcher 2. And I believe I've done all of them in Witcher 3. Anyway, check out these because some of the lines are really funny. And in some cases, the lines are actually unique on the appropriate language. So we have no idea what they're saying unless you go and attempt to translate them. Jumping straight away to the video section, the first video I would like to show you guys or talk about to you guys is my vlog or opinion video. You know that I have a long-standing SWTOR opinion video series. Well, this follows the same style and presentation, but it is about another favorite franchise of mine, Mass Effect Andromeda. I won't tell you the contents of the video because that would defeat the purpose of me telling you to go and watch it. But basically, in the span of 8 minutes, I think, 9 minutes, plus intro and outro, you will see and learn what do I think about Mass Effect Andromeda. Do I like the game? Why I couldn't like the game? The title of the video says that there could have been some things that would have been better. Could they have been better? What is the main reason why Vulkk didn't enjoy Mass Effect Andromeda as much as he wanted to or tried to? Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy the game, otherwise I wouldn't have invested so far 130-ish hours. Yep, I keep playing Andromeda, and very soon I'm preparing to launch another live stream series with the New Game Plus walkthrough, because the game is decent. And of course now I have a new video card which allows me to play it on the absolute maximum details, which is even better. Yes, it looked fantastic before on high details. Now it's gonna look even more fantastic on absolutely everything on ultra. The last part of the video, oh boy, did I release a million videos this week. There are videos from Witcher, Mass Effect, and Star Wars The Old Republic. Obviously, the huge chunk of them, the bigger chunk of them, are from the newest update 5.2 to SWTOR, because I have the story playthroughs, some highlights, all of the intros, and a couple of tutorials and overview videos, including that last one where I showed you a gift I received from a good old friend of mine, Rizasha, the new monolith, the new Crystal Crag monolith, which is part of the 5.2 Crusader, Warbound Crusader cartel pack. I do have this, which I believe would be interesting for you, because especially if you watched my playthrough, you know that since the very beginning, since we met PB in Mass Effect Andromeda on EOS, I've decided this is going to be the girl that I'm romancing in the game. The first and only. Maybe I'll change my mind for New Game Plus, I don't know yet. But I finally got to see the real romantic, or should I call it sex scene, with PB after I've denied or declined her offer for casual sex earlier. Well, that was fun to see. I've never romanced. I believe I've never romanced anybody in the previous two games because I just run through them for the stories, and I didn't really want to stop by and enjoy these romantic relationships. No, I can't really remember romancing any of the companions there. Silly me. Well, probably it's because I have 50 to 60 hours combined in all the first three Mass Effect games. I know that's small amount, more than 60, but still far too less for me to understand and see all of the games. Never mind. That was a cool cutscene, and I've learned bits and pieces about her species that I didn't know before. For example, how they have sex and how they become one. Okay, changing topics. As you can see, I have really a bunch of videos down below in the very beginning of the week, on Monday, I believe, just before the release of SWTOR 5.2. I published a bunch of videos from Mass Effect Andromeda, primarily highlights and cutscenes, and also a bunch of videos from the Witcher 3 Special Moments series. Again, highlights and cinematics mostly. They are really important for me, for the story, and they represent and demonstrate choices that I have never made before. And they're actually, in some cases like this one, accepting Emir's money. That's a rare choice that most players would never do. And regardless of the fact that I've done this quest 4 times before, this was the fifth time I'm doing it, and I finally went to decide and accept the money because I wanted to see that one last ending of the story of the original Witcher 3 Wild Hunt that I haven't seen before. Wrapping up the video, hopefully you guys haven't missed much of my content this week. If you have, well, these were the highlights of things that I've done and you should have seen. See you next time. Bye bye.